recording. Okay, I'm gonna mute everyone online. Welcome tonight. If you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat or raise your hand because I can see you guys. And then I can unmute you and have you ask any questions. Questions are always good things. So give me 1 second. Okay, go ahead, Hilda, go ahead and say hi.
Okay. Hi.
Can everyone hear Hilda online? Perfect.
Okay, great.
Go ahead and get started.
All right. Well, I'm really excited to be back at the Harlan Ranch Clubhouse, and today you're going to paint eucalyptus leaves with a monarch butterfly and a blue morpho butterfly. We're going to do this in steps. The first thing that I'm going to show you is how to mix your color for the green leaves, and then you're going to paint the stems, and then we're on to the big blue butterfly and then to the monarch butterfly, and then I'll show you how to do the details last, like the little details on the butterfly and the leaves. So let's start. You receive colors and you receive brushes, and you should have a cup of water. And what I want you to do is get your largest brush. I think it's a size 8 brush or 9.
Some have 10.
Some have 10. Okay.
We didn't go large.
Take your brush and get some water in the middle of your mixing palette. I want you to get enough water there. So just grab some water and put it in there. And then what I want you to do is mix some of your green in the middle. So you'll need to take some of that green. And notice how my puddle, it's big because you want to make sure that you have enough paint. So you're mixing your green. And then what I want you to do is get a little bit of that paint and just put it in one of the other little wells of the palette here, just a little bit of that paint. And notice that I'm cleaning my, every time I switch over to another color. So now I'm getting a yellow, and I'm going to put it over here on this side. So let me go over that one more time. Get some water in the middle of your well and mix some green. See your puddle, how big it is? I want you to have a big puddle of green wet paint. And then what I did is I took a little bit of that pink and I put some over here on this side. Clean my brush, and I took a little bit of that yellow and I put over here. So do you see all these colors that you have on your well? You should have these ready to go onto your paper, and I'm going to show you what you're going to do next. All right, everybody should have these colors mixed now. All right, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to take your brush.
Slow it down just a minute.
Okay, you're going to take your brush and you're going to just mix the green. Take it. And what I want you to do is just start painting one of the leaves. Just put water on there and add green to one of the leaves with that loose, watered down green. Can you see how I'm just adding that? Just to the leaf. Now, what you can do while this is wet is you can touch a little bit of your paint and add it to parts of the leaf. You can just add a little bit to that leaf. Do you see what I just did there? Okay, and you can move your paper around. You want to let those colors kind of mingle and flow. So do you see that? Okay. Now, if you want, you can take a little bit of your yellow, dip your brush in the yellow. So I have yellow on my brush, and you can touch the leaf in part of the green mixture and let that color bleed. See that? Can you see?
Go ahead and take a break for a second if you want to check the class, and that'll give them time online.
Do you see what I just did? So you're letting the colors be. Let them bleed. I just added a little bit of green, and then I added a little bit of pink. And just leave that leaf But you can pick up your paper and you can move it around. Okay? Do you see that?
Do you want to take a look at some of them?
Yeah.
You're welcome to walk around, Hilda.
You don't have to paint it with the whole color, but look, that's perfect, and that's perfect. This is what watercolor is about. It's letting those colors mingle and move around. Huh? Yes, let the colors lead. They can go ahead. Huh? Okay, so now some of you have moved on to some of the other leaves, so you can do the same thing to your other leaves. Maybe start one of the other leaves with just the pink color or the yellow color. You're the artist. I want you to think of the colors that you want to paint. So now, right under this green one, I'm just going to add a little bit of pink to the bottom of it. Just like this. And remember, you're your own artist, so you can paint these leaves all, different, they don't have to be all green, one flat color. I want you to get creative and think of the combinations that you can come up with these beautiful colors on your palette. And see how I'm just using the brush, I'm just using the tip. I'm gliding it into the shape, and it's okay if you go outside the line. Remember, this is an art lesson. You're just learning about watercolors. So there's another leaf now.
Go ahead and tilt it. They're saying it's washed out on the screen. I just want to make sure that they can see it. Maybe a second.
Oh, I see. So bring it up to the camera. Okay.
We'll just take breaks and do that.
So yeah, just keep moving now to the rest of the leaves and do all the leaves. So I will do another one over here on the side. And when you're mixing your colors, make sure that you mix them with enough water so that the paint can move on to the watercolor paper. Because if the paint, when you apply the paint to the watercolor paper and it's too dry, it's not going to flow and it's not going to move around. It's going to just stay in one spot, like it's considered like dry brushing. You're like dry brushing paint. So isn't this relaxing?
I'm glad you find it.
It's fun. I just love painting with watercolors. It's soothing. Remember, this is an art lesson. I don't want you to feel pressure. I want you to learn that this can be fun and you can do this again.
And remember that we are recording it, so if you want to go back and try your hand at it again, you can later.
You can look at it again if I'm going a little bit too fast, or some of us work a little bit faster than others, and some of us like to take our time and just look first. So there's another leaf there. So I'm going to move on to the smaller leaf now. And remember, change them up. Don't make them all green. Make them all different colors. And the stem painted just with a little bit of pink color. I don't see brown, but you can mix this little red color. And you can start painting your stem, the stem of the leaves. And just use your brush, pretend like it's a pin, and just kind of glide it. The tip of the brush acts like a pin. You can use it to make squiggly lines. You can add more. Even the stem, you could drop another color if you'd like. You can just pick up a little bit of yellow. drop it into the stem while it's still wet. So there is the stem. Let me walk around and show the rest of the class. There's the stem, ladies. Oh, perfect. Look again. There's the stem. Young man, my young man. Oh, let's do that one more time. Here you go. Yes, very nice. Yes. Okay. Great. And let me show my students over here. Look how pretty. You're just over there. Oh, very good. You're using enough water. Okay, sweet. Right here, you need to add a little bit more water. So mix it like right there in the well. Just take some of that water and you can just put it there. Great. Okay. So now the little seed or flower pots here, they're also painted with pink. So you can paint those with pink. And we will do the little details last. The inside pots, I just used a little bit of yellow in the middle. So let's just do the outside of the pot, as you can see. Can you see? Okay.
You may want to bring it up a little closer. Yeah, there you go.
The little seed pods or the pink, and then the inside will be yellow. Just like that. There you go. Oh yeah, that does help. You see all the cloth? That dry. Now we're not going to do the details till the end. So as soon as you're ready, we're going to move on to the butterfly, the big blue morpho butterfly.
Go ahead and give everyone a second.
Yeah.
You can get up and walk around. You don't have to sit the whole time. I think very natural. Let's see the spots.
All right. Everyone is doing great from what I'm looking at. Yes. Very nice. Very nice. And then this later, we take that off with a kneaded eraser and you can just clean it off. Erase. Okay, just having fun, Mom. That's what matters. I just want you to just see what you can do with watercolor. How it moves on the paper, how you can control it with your brush, all that. Yes, very good. And add a little bit more water to your paint because dry brushes right now are doing. Okay. So at this point, some of you, if you're done with all your leaves and they're starting to dry, for those that are more advanced, what you can do is you can keep adding more paint to these leaves, and that's how I ended up getting a lot of depth in my original painting. But for tonight, let's just go with the lesson, and then later if we have time, building up those layers, and I'll show you how to build up those layers. All right? So for those of you that are ready to move on to the butterfly, what we need to do, and I'll try to go a little bit slower here, is you need to clean the inside of your palette. Clean it. Do you see how I just cleaned all that paint And if you need more paper towels, for those of you that are in here, I have the roll. You can come grab some paper. So you'll need to clean it because we're going to work just with glue now. All right, ready? What you're going to do is you're going to have your area clean and you're going to get some water again in the middle of your palette. Just put it in the middle. And I believe that the blue color is the one that's next to the red color here. Yes, it's blue. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a puddle of that blue in the center, just like you did with that green color. Do you see how I'm doing this? Mix enough glue because you don't want to have just a little puddle and you don't want to have your paint dry like this. You want to make sure that the water is moving in this little area here like this. Make it watery. Not too watery, but just enough to where it's going to be able to move around on the paper once you apply it to the paper. So we're mixing glue. And then what I want you to also do is take now on the opposite side of the blue, you're going to take more of that blue. You're going to make a darker blue. See how I'm just picking up paint? And what you're going to do is clean your brush. Okay, brush is clean. Now you're going to go on to touching Payne's Gray. This is the gray color. It's a color that will make any other color a little bit darker. So I have Payne's Gray on my brush, and you're going to take it to that little blue well that you added that extra blue to. So now you have a medium value blue and a darker blue here, and that's what's going to make your butterfly interesting rather than just one flat color. Okay. Everybody ready? So what you're going to do now? Okay. Yes.
For those online, lighter blue, darker blue that has the Payne's Gray.
Yes. Yes, this has Payne's Gray. This has the Payne's Gray, and then this is just the regular blue with water. All right. Okay. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take your brush and you're going to apply it to one of the wings. So I've got blue on my brush and just paint one of the wings with that blue color. And notice how I'm using my brush. I'm just gliding it back and forth to cover that wing area, just like this. The whole wing area. See, ladies? Just that wing. And then I want you to do the other wing, the opposite side. So now we're going to move on to this wing over here. So again, I'm just taking my brush. I'm gliding it to cover that whole area. Look how easy this is. Not hard. And just leave it. Okay? So there's your second wing. Second wing. Okay. While it's wet, I want you to touch that dark blue.
There's your darker, your first set.
Yes. Okay. Now you're going to apply.
If I do it. See.
Now you're going to apply the dark blue. No, we can't see. It's too hard, too difficult. Yes, thank you for being patient. This is our first time doing a live class and a recording at the same time. And we are trying our best to accommodate every one of you. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take the dark color that you mix with the pink spray and just touch a little bit in the center of the butterfly and let the colors flow. See that? Okay. See this over here on this side? Okay. I have.
So she touched in the center and it bled out a little bit.
Okay, and so you want to do that to the opposite side of the wing too now.
And if it doesn't do quite so much bleeding, add a little bit more water.
Yes, add a little bit more water for it to bleed. See there? Okay, great. Leave that alone. And what you're going to do, if you're going to do the bottom 2 wings. Same way you did the first 2, just with the light blue first, and then drop in your dark value in the center. All right, so let's move on to that. Everyone, the bottom wings. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to touch a little bit in the middle with the dark color. Okay, now. And let those colors bleed. Move it around. Let those colors kind of bleed. And just leave that. Just leave that alone. Okay. I'll give you guys a few minutes to catch up to that part. How are you doing over there? Okay? Yes? Yes? Okay. Okay, now what I want you to do is just take Payne's Gray, which is the color that's by the white color. Payne's Gray, take some of that gray and mix it over here. And what you're going to do now is you're going to paint on the outside of the wings, right here, a dark color, a darker value. Just like I have here. See the dark value here? This is what you're going to do next. And you're not going to put the white on there just yet because that has to dry before you use the white to add little details. And we're not going to do the little veins on the butterfly yet either. It's still wet. Okay. So you've got your Payne's Gray color mixed here. You're going to take your brush and you're just going to do it on the outside of the wings. And let me show you. Can you see up here if I do it here? Okay. So what you're going to do is just take the edge of your brush and just kind of move it along the side of the wing there. Like this. Do you see that? Do you see how I did that? With the gray. And the gray is right by the white. No, is by the white paint.
I put them on order. The only difference is you have a green that also has some white because I dropped white into yours.
Just like that, see? It doesn't have to be perfect. It's better that it just looks really kind of loose and watery. And we're going to let this dry now. These are working really good, actually. I really like the point on these brushes. See that? And we're going to leave that butterfly alone now. We're going to move on to the Monarch Butterfly. But I'm going to give you a few minutes to catch up. Okay, and just leave it. Just leave it alone. Let the colors bleed. You can pick it up and move your paper around.
Very nice. Don't overwork it, sweetie. Just leave it alone. Just leave it. Yes. Don't overwork it. Leave it alone. Beautiful. Leave it alone. Leave this alone. See, this is what watercolors does. It moves. And you know, right here you can have a little water. You want to make that move just like I just right here. That's it. It's beautiful. Our guys are doing great. Look at this. That is beautiful, sweetie. I love this. See, I love this guy. You're doing great too. So, I love your music presentation. I love these. Look, the dad is, oh my God, what an artist. You got the artist in you. Oh my gosh, lovely. Yeah. Oh my God. You guys, I'm getting chills looking at all the work that you guys are doing here so far. I'm very impressed with just the short time that you've been here, what's going on. Those of you that are online, I really wish you could see what's happening. I hope that Brittany puts pictures up. I'm gonna post them. Yeah, okay. So now we're ready to move on because I know that some of you don't want to spend your whole Friday evening here. And we're going to move on to the Monarch Butterfly. What we need to do now is clean again the middle of your palette. Clean it up. Take all that blue out. We're not working with blue anymore. We're going to work with the pink and the yellow color. So let's clean that. Make sure it's clean, just like this. Okay, and now what you're going to do is you're going to mix yellow in the middle. Water again in the middle, and if it has a little tint, it's okay. Let's mix some yellow. And we're not going to need a whole bunch of yellow because this is not a great big butterfly, and we only have small sections, so you don't need a lot of yellow. You just need a little bit, concentrated color. Okay. And then right next to it, take a little bit of that pink and mix it to one side of that yellow over here. And these two colors are going to make a beautiful orange. Can you all see this? It's kind of hard. It's okay. Without bleeding. Anyway, you're going to take now that little bit of pink and mix like an orange color. See that? I just did orange. Now, you take just the sections on the inside of the butterfly. And it's hard for you to see, but do you see on this one here how I have yellow and some pink and orange in there? That's what you're going to do next. All right, so take your brush. I'm sorry. So you're going to make the orange with just more yellow and like one dot of pink. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. And you're just going to paint the inside of the butterfly, the little triangle section. So just do that. So just start using your brush like a point. And you can change these around. You can add more yellow to them or more pink. You don't have to make them all one flat color. Just use that brush like if it's a little pin. Use the point of it. So we're just doing the inside of the Monarch Butterfly, the little pattern. And if you don't finish this, you can, if you feel like it's too much, you can just do one wing and then later you can do the other wings if you want, when you're not feeling maybe stressed, or if you feel like this is too much, then you could just do one wing. I'll just show you how to just do one wing, other ones later or tomorrow.
if you feel more relaxed tomorrow, or you feel like you want to just take your time and enjoy this a little bit better rather than feeling maybe too stressed because of the class being an online, or because you're not comfortable knowing how to use watercolors. It's okay. Brittany's recording this, and you can have time tomorrow to look at this and try it again. Not a problem. Okay. So I'll just show you one week. I'll just do 1 week. I don't want you to feel too stressed out. All right. How's everybody doing over here? Good. Good? Good. Take a peek. Oh, you did. You're at home.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you could do it right while you do it at home. Yeah, no problem. You're so patient. Beautiful. Great job, Mom. Great job. Great job, little one. Yes. Yeah, you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to finish this today, Yeah. Beautiful. Wow. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the body of the butterfly, and we're going to use Payne's gray for the inside of. We're going to go back to the blue morpho butterfly, and then we're going to go back to the monarch butterfly. Okay, so again, clean the inside of your mixing palette here. I just cleaned it. And just take that Payne's gray color and mix it in the middle. But don't use a lot of water because we want this to be a little bit darker now in value. So we're just taking paint, and you don't need a lot of paint for this little section here. Okay? That's all you need, just a little bit. Okay, and we are going to be painting the body of this one and that butterfly. And we're going to use our brush like if it was a pin. So are you guys ready? Big one or little bit? Have a little one. Yeah, a little one will work. Guys ready? For the bodies of the butterflies, and to show you how to make the antenna and the little legs. All right, so here we go. So just with the pin, the point of your brush, just start painting that shape in there. Just gently, very carefully, because this is a small area that you're painting. And just paint that body. You don't have to make it too perfect. It's okay if it goes outside the line. And then what you can do is you can even turn your paper to get a better angle to do the bottom one. I mean, the monarch butterfly body. And this paint should not have a lot of water. It should be darker in value so that it can really stand out. Okay. Now, with the tip of the point, you can just go little antenna lines for the insects. Very gently, again. So the blue morpho butterfly does not have any little legs showing. The monarch butterfly does. Just use the tip of your brush to go over those little pencil traced lines. Yes. Yes. And we'll just leave it. Perfect. Perfect. You did great. Next time we need to bring a friend, okay?
Some which is yellow. Pink. Look how beautiful. This is a painting there. You're having fun, aren't you, Mom? I'm so glad you came. Butterflies. All right, we are moving on. So with the same dark color, now you can start going around your Monarch Butterfly spots. So this is what I'm doing next. I'm going with the color. And I'll just do one wing to show you. And you're just using the point of that brush to kind of guide you around those little shapes. That's great. See that? See that's great. Paint spray pad. Okay. Yes, paint spray. Please. This is what you're doing next. Got it? Sure do. All right. So at this point, you can keep painting the black, and then after that, then what I will show you is how to do details to the seed pods and details to the blue morpho butterfly, and then how you will also add the white spots onto your monarch butterfly. So everything is done in watercolors. There are very many different styles of painting. You know, different artists paint different ways, and there's so many ways of using water. But this is just one example, what you're learning tonight. And it's done in steps and layers, but it takes time to learn. And leave it alone, and then just move on, because you don't want to like fiddle with that little area too long. Just move. Yes. How are you liking this so far? Okay? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so because you're kind of caught up, here's my tip, okay? I would love to see this side of the leaves darker than this one. So when this dries, you're going to add another layer just like this to give it depth, and then this will be lighter, and now you don't keep this one. So keep this one darker. Okay? And now make it very nice. And then just do the body and that. All right. Okay. One more time for those online. I'll just finish working on this area here. See, look at how this needs lighter and darker and value. Look at this one.
Do you see the difference? And that's what you're learning. You're learning to see that in yours. Then later, it has another layer here of color because look, there's a different layer here. This colors you want to separate a little bit. Yeah.
All right. So now I will show you how to use pink for the inside of the pods, and then how to do the dots on the butterfly. And it's not hard. So I'm going to clean again the inside of my palette. And some of you have little brushes. If you don't, it's okay. You can just use a tip of whatever brush you have, as long as you just remember just to use the tip and not the whole brush.
Everyone should have a six.
Oh, everyone
should have a 6 or less.
Okay. I'm using a smaller brush now, a real tinier, smaller brush, you see, like this. And I'm just going to touch that pink color with the brush. I'm not adding water. I'm just kind of like dabbing into it and just getting color on the brush. So I have color on the brush. See that? Okay. And what you're going to do is you're just going to start adding little lines to the inside of those seed pods. Real easy, just like that. Different directions coming out from the seed pods. Real easy.
Oh, the little dots. Yes, the little like little hairs almost that come out of these little seed pods. Little, just with the pink, just a little bit of. No, perfect. You keep adding in there. Look, you just have look, just a few of them. Here, let me just do it. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so just touch the repeat. This right here, your little brush. Okay. Yes.
So now we're going to move on to details on the butterfly. And then if I have time, I would love to show you how to keep building up colors, and then we can sign the painting. So now you're going to clean your brush again, take that color off, and clean the inside of your mixing palette. Well, you really don't need to, but I like to keep colors clean. And make sure that when you touch your white color that your brush has no paint on it. And what you're going to do is you're just going to start loading that white onto that brush. And we need a little bit of water. And this is what you're going to use to put those little white dots on the blue morpho wings. You're going to start just adding little white dots.
And we want to make sure they want to make sure it's dry, correct?
Yes.
Before they start adding the dots.
Yes, make sure that if it's not dry, then don't do it. Just wait till tomorrow or later this evening. But I'll just demo and show you here, and then you can do this, and you can also do it with the Monarch Butterfly, because you get to take these kits home, and a lot of you have them at home, so you don't have to worry.
Yes, for those people here tonight, they got to keep their kit when they did it online. So I'll help you guys cover your palettes, and you'll be able to take them home and the brushes with you.
So I'm adding to the wings right there. See, with the tip of my brush, just like that.
And also, if you look at your your handout, you have pictures of the butterflies. You can see where I added dots on the Monarch Butterfly. So now you can do that. You can add, if it's dry. If it's not, don't do it. Just wait till tomorrow. Because I know that it's going to bleed if it's wet. It will bleed. And sometimes what I do is if the color is not wide enough, the dot, then I let it dry and then I'll add another little white dot layer on top of it so that it can really stand out.
So now I'm doing some on that one. See with the white brush, you're gonna do the little dots.
And if it's wet though, don't do it because it'll bleed.
Yes. Oh, wow. You should have this so cool. Look at that. Yes, good. And sometimes when they still, you know, like if they're not dark enough later, add a little bit more on top of that to make them look more white, even when it's dry. And look at these lines, these look. Maybe I'm going to do on your brush, these right here. Okay. Very good, very good.
So for those online, since she's walking around, this is the final. So she's working on the dots that are right in here.
Yeah, I didn't do the other one yet because I was afraid of going too fast. I was like, I missed the
Well, everyone, you're all doing great. I hope that the people online are.
We can ask. How is everyone doing online? Thumbs
I'd
up,
like to
thumbs
know
to
the
side,
feedback.
thumbs down. Oh, we got some thumbs up and some laughing, which is always good.
It's hard to do too. You know, it's hard to try to do the in class and.
No, you're doing great.
We'll figure it out.
And everyone here is doing a great job.
We're trying. This is like Brittany said, this is our first time doing it.
This is our second hybrid event, but this is our first art lesson hybrid.
I wasn't sure how this was going to work out, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but I think it's working out. I hope for everybody.
It helps when there's a second.
And you know, this handout that you were provided with, you can use it again. You can make more paintings out of this. You know, when it's going to be really hot this week, try it again. You know, try painting it with your children or a grandparent maybe, or a sister or brother, and just sit down, put on some nice music and try it again. You know, you've got your little palette kit. These paints will go a long way. Do not throw these away. You know, these, if you add a little bit of water, they're going to come back to life and you can be able to use them again. And you've got great little brushes. Harlan Ranch was so nice to provide these kits for everybody, and you'll be able to use these again. Maybe with that outline, you might just want to paint just butterflies. You know, just paint one butterfly to start with to warm up, and just wait, and then maybe do the other one. You can change it up. You know, you can change that blue butterfly to a pink butterfly. Any color that you want to make it. All right. So I think now at this point, I'm ready to show you how you can develop some layers, and then I'm going to show you how you can sign your painting. So for those of you that are caught up and you would like to see how to keep building up your paintings, this is how I do it, okay? So the leaves are now dry. This is the glue of the inside of the butterfly. Oh, and I forgot to show you, you can use your little thin brush to make the little vein details on the little butterfly. You know, you just take a little bit of paint spray on your brush and you can just make those in there if you like, you know, just by looking at the outline or the picture, just do that. But how I build up my paintings is all done in layers. And I'm going back to the beginning, how I did things again, just to show you. I'm going to use again. And every time that you add a layer on top of what's already painted and it has dried, it's going to look richer and it's going to look more vibrant. It's just going to have more depth. Right now, this is the first wash and the first layer, and it just needs a little bit more depth. So what I like to do is after it dries, I just take more paint and I paint on top of the layer. And then what I do is I soften that edge, just like that.
So she worked on this one here, and she did her second layer of color, and then dried her brush slightly, and then used the water that was in that first layer of paint to soften the edge. For those online who missed it, so you can see that this is now darker than like these, yeah, darker in value.
And you don't have to do this, but I'm just showing you how you can build up your painting. So it's just another way of building up art and just building up your paint. But you don't have to do this. I mean, I'm just showing you. This is just an extra. And then the extra that you also need to learn how to do is how to do the veins for the leaves. And I just took a little bit of pink on my brush again, and I'm going to add the little vein down the center of each leaf. And I will show the people online how I did this here also. The little veins, see? With the pink line. Okay. And I'll use a little bit of paint spray just to do one of the leaves. And then the wing on the blue Monarch Butterfly has little vein details that I use this little brush with for the wing. I used a paint spray to make these little details on the wings. And then also for the butterfly, if you want to build up more color, you can just take more of that blue. You don't have to do this again, but you can just add. I'll just do this one here so you can see. So here I added just another little layer of blue on top of these wings, and it's just building up the butterfly with more depth. I just added it here and there, okay? Because it was dry, so I was able to do that. So I was able to add a little bit of blue on there. You don't have to do it here, you have enough depth. But you can just add blue on top of these two here. They're looking so beautiful, you guys, all of them. Goodness. So what I did here is I just added a little bit more blue.
on top. Yeah. There, look at this. I love the very loose style that she has. Everyone has a different style of painting, and even though it's the same subject. Very cool. Very nice. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can sign your paintings. Okay? And what I do is I usually sign my painting here at the bottom, but not too close to the edge, because if you put a mat around it, you know, you don't want to cover your signature. And what I do is I just use my smallest brush, and I take a little bit of paint of whatever color you want to use on your signature. I'll just use this green here. And I'll just take my brush, and you can sign your first name, your initials, or just your last name, whatever you like. And just pretend like this brush is a pencil. And what you're going to do is you're just going to sign it there at the bottom. Just like that. So there's ways to with this line. It's hard to see. I think it's hard. And then I'll do one more final detail and yeah. I'm going the wrong way. Okay. And then one other optional thing that I would give you as a last tip on painting, you're finishing your painting, is you can add a splatter of color to it. You do not have to do this, but I'm going to show you this. Okay? And it's not hard, it's very easy and fun, and I like to usually do a lot to my paintings. It just kind of ties it in together. So what you do is you just take whatever colors you have left on your palette and put a lot of water to make it really loose and watery. And this is what I do. I just take my brush, it's very loose and watery here, so you can see that, how loose it is. Oh, looks really good up there. Okay, and then what I do is I just take my brush and I'll just splatter a little bit. You know, just.
And is it better to use the larger size brush or the smaller?
You can
So
use,
larger.
I think the larger one would work better. And that's it. You don't have to do a whole lot. Look, just enough. Just see. There. You see that, everyone? Yeah. And you can even move it around if you want. And so, yeah, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I just wanted to show you. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that you all enjoyed this and that you got to see how watercolors work. How did you guys? Yeah.
Does anyone online have questions? Otherwise, we'll let you continue working and we'll stop the recording. And then if anyone would like to share their photos, we won't put it in the recording and make you share. So I'm gonna stop the recording.
Just the grades. It's just great.